Running, one might say, is basically an absurd pastime upon which to be exhausting ourselves. But if you can find meaning in the kind of running you have to do to stay on this team, chances are you'll be able to find meaning in another absurd pastime: life.
The reason I started running is I'd always enjoyed the feel of going for a run, the feeling afterwards, and I thought that being somewhat athletic, I thought I could transfer that to being able to run, and lucky for me, it worked out all right.
Well, I started running probably about my sophomore year of high school when I decided that I wanted to stop lacrosse and it would keep me busy. I ended up getting really into it, and ended up doing it the rest of high school.
I just think running is such a unique sport. I get a little peace of mind coming out of it. There's something great that's so objective about it, that you can run a certain distance in a certain time, and you know that if you put in the work, that you can run the same distance in a quicker time or try to run it faster. It's just the objective progression is something that always has gave me passion for the sport.
Over here it's a lot more structured, and there's definitely more of a fan following and sort of like a more fraternity feeling over here than it is back home. But it's what the real difference is back home is that it's the social side of it is played up a lot more than the competitive side. So whereas you might have a lot of social runners and the real social aspect to it played up, over here it's not so much.
There is a certain, as they call it, runner's high that you absolutely feel when you finish running. And when I hit my pillow every night and I know that I've run 10 miles a day, it feels like I've accomplished something, and I just don't want to ever lose that feeling. So I feel like that would be an addiction for me.
Well, there's been proven through many different studies that there's this molecule, anandamide, that is released during vigorous exercise, whether it be swimming, running, or cycling. And they've done many studies and have found that running specifically releases large amounts of this molecule, anandamide. So they ended up doing more research on the biochemical pathways of this anandamide molecule in your body, and they draw a lot of conclusions, realizing that the anandamide molecule has the same effects as THC and marijuana on certain receptors in your brain. So because they do have the same effects and will bind to the same receptors in your brain, they end up yielding the same type of like euphoria or relaxed state that someone who's in a marijuana-induced high, as opposed to a runner's-based high, might have the same effects. But it is a personal experience, and all the evidence of a runner's high is based on direct experience by people who have been running. So there's no clear-cut evidence, but I'm a runner. I could tell you that I've experienced it. I'm sure a lot of other runners out there could tell you on some of their long runs that they have experienced this state of euphoria or relaxed state of runner's high.
It's a very bizarre feeling. You sort of feel lightheaded and just very, very happy. Very happy. It's a very weird feeling.
When you're running, your body has these natural mechanisms in which it tries to alleviate the stress and the pain that running will impose on your body. And your body does get used to those certain mechanisms and the different effects that it will have on you. So when you get into a routine, after a while, when you get out of that routine, your body misses those certain reactions that it does have to the running, and it will affect like your mental state, it will affect your physical state.
It's sort of like the feeling you get when, usually the time that I get it is during like a workout on the track or something. For some reason, you just feel it for some reason, and it was like jogging, just like everything feels easy, just like you're not even working it. It's just the most amazing feeling.
Billy Mills said, "Every passion has its destiny." And when you go out for a run every day, you feel passionate about it, and you hope that someday it'll amount to something, whether it's like some people run a sub 4-minute mile. For me, it's purely out of enjoyment for the sport and the fact that I know I can get better. There's nothing more satisfying than knowing that hard work pays off.
The real purpose of running isn't to win a race. It's to test the limits of the human heart.